Hello, my name is Joy and welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, hello, I'm happy that you are here. And if you are not new here, I still appreciate your presence. Kwanzaa, I appreciate it very much. Like, actually, guys, what the heck? We are at over 1,000 subscribers at this moment in time, and I appreciate y'all. Like, seriously, ile serious, meskia. So I do appreciate your presence, and if you haven't already, I would encourage you to subscribe, so that you can keep up with what we got going on over here. Okay, period. So the purpose of today's video is to talk about the culture shocks that I faced when I moved back to America. I am Kenyan American. You can see the flag. Naishi natumaini najitolea time. Okay, that's enough. But I'm Kenyan American, and I moved to Kenya when I was 9 years old, and I lived there for 6 years. So I moved back almost 4 years ago, and vile nilirudi, vile culture shocks zilinipiga. Zilinipiga ile serious. Like, the culture shocks were crazy. I feel like I've shared a couple on TikTok, but I haven't shared any here. So, and I definitely have a very long list. If my laptop is willing to cooperate with me, we'll be able to list everything. I feel like there are also so many that I just won't be able to cover every single little thing, but we can only cover what we can, okay? And that is a crocheted bag that my sister made for me, by the way, if you're wondering. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay. This is not going to be in any particular order. I'm just gonna go ahead and talk, based off of what comes to mind. All right. Like I said, there is a long list, so I feel like we will have a lot to talk about today. Okay. When it comes to these culture shocks. Number one. Well, I guess to start us off, because I'm not going to number each one. Trust and believe I will forget if I start numbering here. But I guess to start us off, the education system, the American education system was definitely a culture shock for me. Because, as you know, or if you don't already know, the education system in Kenya is very rigid. It is not very forgiving. It's actually merciless, in fact, as I would describe it. Well, the 844 system, to be specific, because that's the system that I went through, okay? Very rigid. There's a lot of cramming. Your grades are based off of examinations. It's just a lot. Like, the school day starts so early, 6:30 in primary school, which is elementary school if you're American, but elementary and middle school, because you end up from class 1 to class 8, first grade to 8th grade. Anyways, I was used to this back to back, and also we are not going to put the physical abuse that happens in 844 system schools in Kenya aside. We're not going to put that aside, because that would occur, and then that messed me up mentally, and I'm sure it also messed up a lot of other students mentally as well. So there's that too. So there's this like expectation that you have already set for yourself, and has been set by others, by society, by your family, by everyone, that you must do well academically, or you might as well throw your life away because you will not make it. I think a lot of the things in the 844 education system implies this, honestly. But that is a story for another day. Okay, but anyway, the bottom line is, this is the education system I was used to and that I went through for 6 years. So when I came back 4 years ago, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. But when I came back, I was like, shule ni rahisi aje? What do you mean you're giving me a notepad to use in my exam? What do you mean I have 5 questions for homework and then I get an A? I'm very confused. What do you mean I raise my hand and I get participation points? I beg your pardon. And then also, something that I love about the American education system is co-curricular. Co-curricular activities, extracurricular activities. That's how it's said. Are very valued, and I think that's an amazing thing with the American education system, because intelligence is not expressed in only one way. No, someone can be an amazing athlete, someone can be an amazing vocalist, someone can be amazing with just dance, so many other things besides academic abilities, and that's very valued here, which is a great thing. So when I came back, I was like, dang, this is the life y'all are living over here. Okay, I think I like it. But the experience I had socially, sasapo. Now that is a very long story. I'm trying to think of how I'm going to summarize this. No, actually, that leads me to my next point. Another thing that was a major culture shock for me was friendship dynamics in American high school. The social environment of high school in America was a complete culture shock for me. Oh my goodness. Academics were easy, but making friends was not. Okay, I mean, there are so many things to consider, right? I think it's important that I mention that the school that I went to was predominantly white. I was one of 2 Black girls in my graduating class. So, and I'm from Kenya. Nimetoka Kenya. Of course, I am something way different than they have ever seen, I guess. And so that makes it hard to relate. Another thing is cliques. There are cliques. Okay, well, at least the school that I was in, there are cliques. Kuna popular kids, kuna athletes, kuna nerds, kuna emo kids. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, where do I fit in? And that's the thing. Okay, I did not fit in. And, at the point that I'm at right now, I'm 20 years old. I have realized that I am not meant to fit in. Fitting in is exhausting. Fitting in is tiresome. It's so boring as well. I find myself burying parts of myself just to fit in this kind of box that you guys have built for yourself. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay, but this is how, this is what was presented to me when I came back, and I'm like, what the heck? Y'all are weird. And listen, I tried to fit in at first. I tried, but it did not work. I would get looks like, And something that confused me is everyone knows everyone by their first and last name. Do you know Tracy? No, Tracy Miller. Oh, Tracy Chauffeur? Oh, no. I'm like, oh my goodness. All I know is that Jinake ni Tracy. Mimi sijui. Okay? Mimi sijui. So the friendship dynamics here was very confusing for me. There's no sense of oh my god. In Kenya, there's this sense of I don't even know how to explain it. Kuna vibes, okay? There's no weird energy. I saw and felt so much weird energy. There's a lot of jealousy within this social environment. Someone is trying to be better than someone else. Someone is dating someone, but it's their ex, and then so this and that. And I'm like, oh my goodness, y'all need to chill. Y'all need to calm down. And there's also this fake energy as well, pretending that you are enjoying a conversation with someone. You're like, oh my god, yes. Oh my gosh, really? You are so interesting. Oh my gosh, we should definitely hang out sometime. And then the next day when you see them, they pretend not to know you. And then you wonder to yourself, oh, am I seeing things, or is this the person that I was talking to? Okay, Americans are very nice. They're very nice, but it's not very genuine, which is something I realized the hard way through a friendship. So yeah, that was definitely a culture shock for me. I was very confused. I was like, Ni nini? Jameni, kama unipendi uniambie. Like usijifanye, unajifanya, unani confused. I don't like being confused. I don't like it. So stop it. But it's the culture, honestly. And I was like, oof. Another culture shock that I want to get out of the way before we continue with all the fun, fun culture shocks and funny ones, is racism. I faced racism for the first time when I came back, and I was like, what? What do you mean microaggression? I don't know what that is. I'm actually very confused. What do you mean you don't like me because of the color of my skin? It was very interesting to navigate this part of settling back into America. It was very confusing because when I was in Kenya, like I said, I lived there for 6 years. I didn't have to worry about the color of my skin when I was in school. I mean, I'm amongst my people. Why would I worry? You know what I mean? And I think that's one of the very key things that I loved about living in Kenya. You don't have to worry about the color of your skin. Like, you look around and you're just with your people. Even though there are other issues that I faced living in Kenya, I think it's important to recognize that I just loved that I'm with my people. I don't have to worry about the color of my skin. I don't have to worry about my blackness when I walk into a room. But I faced racism for the first time, and I had to understand what microaggression was. Microaggression, I'm going to put the proper definition somewhere in this video, somewhere on the screen. But the best way I can think of defining microaggression is indirect racism, being racist without actually being saying the words. Okay. And once I realized what that was, I was able to, my eyes were opened. But this was such a culture shock because I don't know, I just didn't think that it would happen to me. Like, after living in your home country for so long, you don't even think about it. I didn't worry about it until it happened to me. And to make matters worse, right? There are so many stereotypes for Black people, and I felt so unseen because all of these stereotypes are kind of already in place for the type of person I'm supposed to be as a Black person, right? And so everyone was like, oh my gosh, Joy, yeah, she be listening to Megan Thee Stallion, yeah, period. She be... I'm not like that, actually. If you actually took time to get to know me, you know that that's not my type of music to listen to. Nothing wrong with listening to Megan Thee Stallion, but there were just so many stereotypes that were put on me. Okay, like the aggressive black girl. Oh my God, Joy, calm down. I'm a very calm person, actually. And then all these questions about race and about this and about the transatlantic slave trade, and it's like I can't answer everyone's questions because here is the thing: I am still learning myself. I am still learning what it means to be Black in America. I am still learning about the transatlantic slave trade. I'm still learning about this history that was never taught to me. And that's something that no one recognized. It's something that no one understood, And so navigating this was hard. It was very hard. So that was definitely like culture shock. I think that should be another video, like me talking about my experience being a young Black woman in America. Anyway, that aside, okay, another culture shock I experienced was recognizing the fact that us East Africans do indeed have a distinct look. Our facial features, we have a distinct look. Oh yeah. I never knew this. Like, people would, tell me, oh my goodness, your forehead is so big and beautiful. Are you East African? Or, you're Ethiopian, Cindy, you're Ethiopian. I'm like, actually, no, I'm Kenyan. I'm Kenyan. But I never knew that as Kenyans, as East Africans, we have a distinct look. I always knew, Somali people, Ethiopian people, Eritrean people have a distinct look and you can tell them apart. But as Kenyans, I just didn't think that we also have that distinct look. I never thought so. Because when you're amongst your people, you don't even worry about that. Lakini nyi watu wengine primary school mlikuwa mnasema ati, oh, faida yako na nikubwa. So is yours. So I'm confused. I am confused. These are the features of our ancestors that were passed down to us. So I'm confused why it's supposed to be an insult. Anyway, yeah, I was just like, what do you mean I look Ethiopian? I do not look Ethiopian. I look so Kenyan. But I came to realize, oh my goodness, as Kenyans, we do have a distinct look. Even in the past year, I came to really, really realize that. And I think there's some beauty in having a distinct look and someone being able to tell what part of Africa you are from. But yeah, that was such a culture shock. I never ever thought that my forehead was big. For like a very split second, I was insecure about it because I didn't understand why people were telling me my forehead is big. I'm like, what do you mean? But no, it's because I am Kenyan. That is why. Yes, this beautiful forehead. I'm in love with it. I'm in love with it now. But yeah, that is something that I just never thought about. I was very confused. Another culture shock is the food. The food here didn't, haikuwa inanishibisha. It just didn't taste like food to me. Okay? It didn't taste like food. And then when I ate, I didn't feel like I was full. I'm like, what is going on? But I whipped up some ugali, mboga, and rusik, and I feel whole again. But the food just had me feeling a bit crappy. I was like, nuh-uh. What is this? What do you mean sloppy Joe? I'm confused. What do you mean casserole? I'm just kidding. I have never eaten casserole before. But, yeah, the food would just never shibisha me. And I'm glad I was forced in the kitchen because I can cook. So, whenever the food is not satisfying me, I'm just able to cook when I need to. Another culture shock is mapenzi. Wait. Love. The dating scene. I never talk about my dating life on TikTok, online. I don't see the need for people to know my business when it comes to that part of my life. But this was a culture shock for me. This was a culture shock. The culture shock for me was my peers being in relationships and literally going on vacation together. My peers, it's like it didn't make sense to me. It didn't click for me that you broke up with your boyfriend yesterday and then you're dating someone else tomorrow and then you're going on vacation. So I was very confused by that. I was like, huh? And then another thing is beauty standards. When you go to a predominantly white school, what do you think the beauty standard is? Okay, I'm gonna let you figure that out on your own. So I didn't really receive any romantic attention, and I was baffled because in Kenya I did receive attention because of course the beauty standard is different. However, when one individual alikuwa mzungu and he showed interest in me, I'm like, whoa, what do you mean? And he's quite cute as well, so I'm confused. Are you playing with me? And it was this whole thing. Rumors started going around and I'm like, oh my goodness, I should not have engaged. Anyways, guys, it was a bit tough, okay? But I branched out, of course, outside of my school. And I started dating. I don't even know what to say about that. You see, this is why I don't talk about dating. There's really not much to say. There's a lot to say, but I feel like not much for me to articulate in the moment. So we're going to move on, okay? And I might even cut this out, honestly. The average American does not have critical thinking skills. The average American does not have critical thinking skills. I believe that when I went to Kenya, I mean, I do consider myself a smart person. I know I'm smart. Okay, you can't take that away from me. I know I'm smart. But when I went to Kenya, I think my critical thinking skills heightened. I think they, you know what I'm saying? So when I came back and I was like, yeah, 2 + 2 = 4. And they're like, what? No way, you are so smart. You are so smart. And I'm just confused. I'm like, what do you mean I'm smart? This is very obvious. It's common sense. It is not common sense. Not everyone has critical thinking skills. And I had to understand that and be also a bit sympathetic, because you have to consider the education system that they grew up in. I'm thinking if I actually went through this education system all of my life, I think I would have been thinking a little bit differently. Okay. But yeah, that is another culture shock. What is another one? What is another culture shock? Okay, my laptop is not turning on. So we're just gonna have to talk about whatever. But I remember when I literally, we were in gym and we were playing basketball. And, I, threw the basketball into the net. I made it twice. And then all of a sudden, I'm Anaitwaje LeBron James. All of a sudden, I am LeBron James. Oh my gosh. Wait, Joy, you are so good. You should join the basketball team. You should join the basketball team. Oh my God. I'm like, what are you talking about, guys? You want me to join the basketball team. I am not that good at basketball. Again, stereotypes. Another culture shock for me was just basic respect and decency toward teachers was non-existent in in the school I was in. Some people would just be talking to the teachers crazy, and I'm like, ungekuwa Kenya ungepigwa kofi, ungekula kofi. But there was also a kind of healthy dynamic between teachers and students that I must recognize, though. Students felt free enough to talk to teachers about issues they were experiencing. They felt open enough to ask for help, and I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. I kind of like that. There's no shame. It's very different in Kenya, though. Ask a question and you're stupid. Ask a question alafu unaambiwa ulikuwa unazubaa, mbona ulikuwa unazubaa, and then it's this whole thing. But another culture shock is being told that I had an accent. I thought I was the master at code switching. No. People are like, "Where? I can hear your accent. Where are you from?" I'm like, what? I thought I was masking well enough. No, I guess I wasn't. I guess I have an accent. Like they had a Kenyan accent in the way I was articulating myself. So I was like, oh, I thought I was hiding that, but I guess not. Because as a bilingual person, I code switch. I can talk like this, and then I all of a sudden switch up and I'm talking like this. You feel me? I'm a valley girl. Okay, not a valley girl, but you get my point. Code switching is a thing. But I feel like over time, my American accent definitely enhanced. And it all has to do with the environment I am in. I feel like this is pretty simple to understand, but you would be surprised. It is not that easy to understand for many, for many people. Anyway, I feel like if I understand it, that's all that matters, honestly. But yeah, I feel like there are so much more, but those are just the few that I'm going to cover today, guys. I'm so sorry because my laptop is refusing to nini. So we're just going to have to, stop here. But thank you for watching. If you watched until this point, I appreciate you, like for real. Okay, and if you haven't subscribed, I would encourage you to subscribe so that you can, keep up with what we have going on over here. And also hit post notifications so you are in the know. About my next upload. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Okay? Bye.